Coming up, the next UI president to replace Bruce Harreld was announced. And later, the UI Pentacrest Museums are reopening after a long year without visitors.
Iowa football wraps up spring practice. I'll tell you more in sports.
April may be over, but the showers are continuing. I'll tell you more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere. DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Ashley Wheel. Barbara Wilson was announced as the next president for the University of Iowa. I attended the press conference and found out more about her career and her plans as president. Friday, the Board of Regents selected Barbara Wilson as the 22nd president of the University of Iowa. She is currently the University of Illinois System Executive Vice President and Vice President for Academic Affairs. She was one of 4 finalists that visited the university. At the press conference following her announcement, she explained some of her priorities, which include taking a hard look at the strategic plan, considering diversity in all aspects, and graduation rates. She is planning on using her experience in her previous roles at the University of Illinois System to apply them to the University of Iowa. She is confident that she'll be able to be president, but is unsure about her knowledge of Iowa.
I think one of the first things I want to do is build lots of relationships, meet with lots of people. I'm eager to meet with faculty and staff and of course with the great students here, both undergraduate and graduate and professional, and all the people who are affiliated with the city of Iowa City. I want to meet people who love this place as much as I'm going to learn to love it as well.
She explained how this is her dream job and is excited to start July 15th.
You know, I'm all in, and I'm excited to be here, and I'll be cheering along with everybody for the great virtues and fortunes of this university. So count me in.
Many students and staff are also excited to see Barbara's presidency with her student-focused mission and goals for diversity, equity, and inclusion. As Barbara Wilson gets her warm welcome onto campus, Bruce Harreld got a harsh goodbye. Students across campus threw an outgoing president a goodbye party. DITV reporter Elizabeth Neruda got student reactions.
As soon as Bruce Harreld's presidential replacement was chosen, students took to the Pentacrest to rally with a goodbye party. Student action groups took to the steps to tell the stories of raised tuition, hardships during a pandemic, and in general, disappointment in the presidential leadership over the past 6 years.
I'm hoping that we get some real engagement, not more false promises. I hope that there is an active communication between the community and those who are trying to represent it.
A big theme of the event was annoyance that the governor-elected Board of Regents chose the head of the school with very little student input. Although there were open forums for each candidate for the community to attend, attendees believe that the president will always care more about the bottom line over the community. After student testimonials at the Pentacrest, a group of students marched to Regent David Barker's house with a list of demands, which include increased wages for university workers and lower tuition.
It seems like we're just repeating history. Bruce Harreld was chosen behind closed doors, and seems like Barb is the exact same. I don't think that's right.
The Bye Bye Bruce event was still hopeful that through the power of community action and local leadership, Iowa City can thrive no matter the president. The hope is with this new president in charge, there will be more attention to student voices on campus. From the University of Iowa, Elizabeth Neruda, DITV.
It was a hot weekend in Iowa City. Let's toss it to Lauren in the weather studio to see if that weather is lasting.
Thanks, Ashley. This week is going to see a return to normal spring temperatures. Today will be 73 degrees and stormy with a low of 55. The clouds will stick around tomorrow with a high of 57. There will be a mix of sun and rain with temperatures in the 60s for the rest of the week. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Lauren. The Downtown District welcomed spring with a new version of their open house events. May 1st, they hosted a Mother's Day open house where shops had little goodies like snacks and drinks.
It's just also a time to do some shopping, support local businesses downtown, and maybe see what new spring arrivals they have.
The Downtown District has had open house events in the past for the winter holidays, and they are thinking of continuing these throughout the year. They also have events such as a shop crawl, sidewalk sale, and more planned later this month as people start to get out of the house more. After over a year of virtual visits, the Pentacrest Museums are reopening their gallery doors. While the museums will no longer need virtual exhibits to interact with the community, these resources will be sticking around.
So it was business as normal, as usual, but also in a totally different way. And we explored new avenues to reach people virtually. And it's been really successful. And as we start moving toward having people return, we're keeping some of those virtual options alive because they support what we do live and in person, wonderfully, pandemic or not.
While the virtual actions are helpful, the museum staff is excited to have people return to the galleries.
We've really missed the public and having people in our spaces to engage with our stuff. The virtual adaptations of our galleries have been huge and they're exciting, but there's nothing like getting in a museum and moving around and learning, and we're really happy to have folks back.
The Pentacrest Museums are open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday and Saturday. They have a limited capacity, and those who are interested can find more information at pentacrestmuseums.uiowa.edu. Public Space One is turning unused storefronts into exhibition spaces for artists. This initiative is called, quote, Art On-Site Project, end quote.
In general, Public Space One kind of recognizes our place in the Iowa City landscape as a progressive institution that wants to push against and push culture forward.
This project allows a platform for groups of artists that are traditionally marginalized and underserved.
We are an arts organization, so that's the channel from which we operate, and it's proven to be just a rich and vibrant way to promote a lot of different social justice issues.
Public Space One is hoping to get more new artists to show off their work in Iowa City, and this summer they are planning other exhibits to shine a light on the arts community. DITV is starting to rival our sports teams in bringing home the hardware. At the 2021 Iowa Broadcast News Awards, DITV won big. We've made a short video to honor the hardworking staff that makes this station come together.
DITV is now celebrating its 2021 Iowa Broadcast News Awards wins. In addition to winning the Overall Excellence Award, the team came home with 5 more first-place finishes and placed second or third 7 additional times. These awards honor all our talent, both on and off camera. And now, our individual winners.
Industry. So when time gets tough, MTS gets tough.
Fairness can be as simple as someone taking a selfie.
From Iowa City, solid DITV.
The ratio hit 3 weeks ago. The damages are present.
Come from places like the Disaster Relief Fund, the Emergency.
Staff adapts to these changes. Students, especially high school seniors.
City of Iowa President Bruce Harold announced that he will be
Masks
retired.
must be worn while in groups of 25 or more indoors.
And thank you, our viewers and supporters at home. We could not do what we do without you.
4 UI football alums take their career to the next level. In the 2021 NFL Draft, Chauncey Golston would be the first Hawkeye taken off the board in the 3rd round when he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Golston was a starter for the Hawkeyes the past 2 seasons and was a first-team All-Big Ten selection. In the 5th round, wide receiver Amir Smith-Marset was selected by the Minnesota Vikings. During his Hawkeye career, he earned honorable mention in the Big Ten and received honors in offensive and special teams. Defensive tackle Davion Nixon was the 3rd Hawkeye to be drafted in the 5th round. Nixon was selected by the Carolina Panthers and led the Big Ten Conference in tackles. In the 6th round, linebacker Nick Neiman was the 4th and final Hawkeye to be drafted. He was selected by the Los Angeles Chargers. Neiman is the 79th player to be selected by Kirk Ferentz and in the NFL Draft.
Thanks for tuning in to DITV. We'll be back Monday. From Iowa City, I'm Ashley Wheel.